bells pealed out the dread summons of disaster. Now, on this morning of Good Friday, how joyously beautiful is their tone as they tell us of rebellion ended, of war terminated, of peace restored. Now and henceforth, in truth, in reality, we will be the United States!
What good will union do the working man? The blood of our fathers and brothers and sons spilled in the service of union, and what for? To keep us in the poorhouse and give the slave a vote!
Come on,
No surrender! Never surrender! Hands off me, damn you! What?
Withdraw, sir. There are ladies present.
Give up! No surrender! Never surrender!
Well now, Officer Parker. Keeping order, I see.
Mr. Booth, fresher than a tulip. And seeing the state you was in last evening.
The state you were in, my friend. It's a miracle you're upright.
I'll admit it is this lamppost is doing the work.
Officer Parker? What is the meaning of this? An officer of the law standing by while rowdies run amok on the streets of the capital?
Miss Harris, I'd say fellas who shoot their mouths off on a day feelings are running so high deserve a little roughing.
Officer Parker.
All right. I'll go and knock some sense into them. Good day to you both.
Good day, Mr. Parker.
A lot of you. Fall back.
Would you have me escort you to a less troublesome spot, Miss Harris? Was it? It'd be my pleasure.
Every woman in Washington knows of your pleasure, Mr. Booth. I shall be perfectly safe without your protection. Thank you.
As you wish. Good day. I hope we'll meet again, ma'am.
Sir.
Let no thought of passion, no feeling of revenge intrude upon any heart. Let all strive for not merely legal, but for real, hearty, impassioned oneness of union throughout our broad land. Union of hearts, union of hands, union in all that is American. Union and liberty, one and inseparable.
There! Pops! Where are you, boy? I thought I told you to stick to the stage door like molasses. Is that lavender? Pops, you got a piece in that dressing room? I can smell it, Pops, don't you deny it. Mr. Wilde will be here any minute, you dallying dolt. And a gentleman like Mr. Wilde, he'll be straight on the first boat back to England if he thinks he's walked into some kind of a cat house. Now open up!
Entree.
But that ain't... Oh, Lord. Mr. Wilde.
Mr. Ford, I presume?
Henry Clay Ford, at your service. Whew, that is some scent, Mr. Wilde.
Oscar, please. An infusion of lavender and bergamot. I find it soothes my nerves.
I guess it must be the latest thing in London, right? Just like you, Mr. Wilde.
Just like me, Mr. Ford.
Well, welcome to my theater.
Your brother's theater, I believe.
Sure. How'd you get in here?
I was a little early. Your boy, Pops, showed me in here and made me very comfortable. He even made me tea. Or some Atlantic variation thereof.
Some Atlantic variation... Oh, that'll be the famous Oscar Wilde wit.
Devastating, isn't it?
You know, I gotta tell you, that wit is gonna make you famous all across these new United States.
That's the plan, yes.
You know, this play of yours, The Importance of Being Earnest, have to admit, when it arrived, I thought something that big's only good for a doorstop. But you know what, Mr. Wilde? I started reading, and by the end, I was literally laughing my head off.
How distressing for you. I wonder whether you'd mind...
Oh, of course, you're tired. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wilde. I guess I'll leave you to it. You've had one heck of a journey, I expect.
You've no idea.
PGH Fender.
PGH who?
Oh, only the finest player ever to captain England. Ooh, what a day that was. Summer of 23, or was it 24? Ow!
You all right down there?
Got him with a concealed googly for 3. He was so impressed he simply put down his weapon and applauded. Ow!
Oh, Doctor, what on earth are you talking about?
Ow! Oh. Right. That does it. No. Too purple. No.
Doctor!
Cricket, Dr. Smythe, cricket.
Oh, cricket. How did we get on to cricket?
Aha! One moment. Percy George, you see. He was one of the true gentlemen of the game. There. That should do it.
Do what?
This.
Oh, scientific as ever, Doctor.
Naturally. Doesn't take any old thump, you know. Each strike precisely timed and weighted.
Ah, just like PGH.
Experience and knowledge, Evelyn, that's what counts.
Not to mention concealing your googlies.
Well. Earth again.
You amaze me.
And the year 1865. Ring any bells?
Leopold II was crowned King of the Belgians. The Matterhorn was climbed for the first time. Roger Kipling was born on the 30th of December.
Quiet
the Duke of
sort
Abercorn...
of time, then. Let's take a look round, shall we?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask.
Pops, is that you? My brother may be in Virginia, but don't think you can swing the lead with me.
Now, who have we here? I remember. Young Harry.
Henry, Mr. Booth, sir. The big man, he's in Richmond.
Don't matter, Junior. Where's Maisie?
Maisie?
Titian-haired beauty, runs the box office.
Oh, she's off. Stomach cramps or something.
Oh, well. She keeps my messages behind. Reckon I'd check them in passing, if I may.
Oh, sure. Always a pleasure to see the most esteemed members of the local company.
Not so esteemed as Harry Hawk these days. What's this? My dear Mr. Booth, permit me to prevail upon the finest thespian in the district to read, for an Englishman, an extract from...
Even General Grant.
Grant? He's coming here.
With the president tonight. The White House boys stopped by first thing.
Well, now.
Can you believe the hero of Appomattox here at Ford's?
And the president.
Mrs. Lincoln, too. Them over at Grover's is going to be sick.
This fellow Wilde wants me to read for him. He on the level.
Mr. Wilde? Oh, a great man, straight as they come. Me and him, we're in collaboration.
Are you now?
Mind, he's rested now, in his dresser.
If he's as keen as all that, he'll meet me. Junior?
You can find the way, Mr. Booth?
There's not an inch of force that I don't know.
You give it all you got, Mr. Booth. What the devil
are we doing in your office? Good question.
And how in the blue blazes did this blue box get in here with you?
Another good question. And good questions deserve good answers. Well, Evelyn?
Oh, dear. This doesn't get any easier, does it?
Wilde, it's Booth.
Ah, my protege. Do come in. My dear fellow, take a seat. Do.
Curious atmosphere here.
Lavender and bergamot, yes.
No, something else.
Mr. Booth.
What's in here?
My cabinet of curiosities.
Your what?
Curios, the clues in the name. Mr. Booth, you seem edgy.
These are strange days we're living through.
Ah, yes. And a man of your sympathies needs to be careful, yes?
What do you know of my sympathies, sir? Speak! Or let Mr. Bowie's blade paint these walls in English rouge.
I was referring to those platonic sympathies common in the brotherhood of actors, but tragically misunderstood in the wider world.
Wild. I thought you knew my reputation. Bad Johnny Booth only has eyes for the ladies. My knife ain't for no fruit.
Speaking of fruit, would you care for a glass of elderberry cordial? A trifle tart on the tongue, but positively bursting with antioxidants.
Well, if you're imbibing yourself.
Yeah. Bums up. Oh, sublime. Drink. Drink.
In a moment. Business first.
Of course. I'll come straight to the point, Mr. Booth. I saw you last year in Boston.
Highlights from Shakespeare.
Indeed. And that night I knew I'd seen the finest actor on the American stage. A figure to rival any in the opposite continent. Keane, Bibbentry, Olivia.
Olivia?
Perhaps I'm being a trifle previous. No matter. You get my gist. These are princes, my boy, proud princes. Some actors are little better than strolling psychopaths, but it comes to a very few to be great. And you, Mr. Booth, you will walk amongst them.
You think so?
I know so. And that is why I've written a little piece with you in mind. Booth?
I thought I heard something behind that curtain.
Behind the curtain? Are you sure? I don't see anything.
Made you look, though, didn't I?
Very convincing.
Mud in your eye, Wild. Not bad. This piece, is it tragedy, comedy, what?
Comedy of a kind. The hero of the piece is a smart young man who calls himself Jack, but thinks himself Ernest.
Burglars and vagabonds.
Well, really? Do we look the type?
Well, if it's last night's takings you're after, I've banked them already.
No, you haven't.
Hands off, Captain.
Doctor, actually. And believe it or not, we've no interest in your takings.
Hold up. Is that an English accent?
For your ears, maybe.
Of course! You're with him.
Him?
I don't know why I didn't see it before. I thought Mr. Wilde was dandied enough, but this fellow here, he takes a biscuit, hey, lady?
I beg your pardon?
Well, that coat may be all the thing in Piccadilly, son, but here in D.C., folks will take you for a theatrical.
Now, look here.
Of course, that's exactly what you are, isn't it? Seeing as you're with Oscar Wilde.
Just because a person happens... Did he just say Oscar Wilde?
He did.
So, what's in the box, eh, Doc? More fancy costumes?
Yes, among other things. Evelyn, this is 1865. Oscar Wilde's not out of short trousers.
Yes, obviously. But I don't think
Something's
that's
very wrong here. I can smell it.
Damn, but this thing's warm. How'd you get this through the door?
Oh, secrets of the trade, Mr.
Ford, isn't it?
The very same.
Evelyn? How in Casterbarus did you know that?
Read the billboard outside, I should imagine.
This is Ford's Theatre, Doctor. Washington, D.C., 1865.
It's collapsible, right? Damned if I can find a switch.
Don't do that. Ford's Theatre.
Correct.
Washington, D.C.
Precisely.
1865.
On the nose.
Then you must be... John Thompson Ford?
No.
Oh.
Henry Clay Ford, his brother.
The House Treasurer, yes?
I got my sights on higher things.
Doctor, this isn't good.
Evelyn, I very much doubt we'd have been so unlucky as to have landed at precisely...
Mr. Ford, I wonder if you could furnish us with today's date.
Hey?
The date. We've only just arrived, and the time difference can be a little confusing.
Oh, sure. It's April 14th.
This Oscar Wilde. I want to see him. Now.
Well, now, Thomas, looky here. Ain't it the grandest thing?
Just a peek, Lizzie. That's all I said.
And that's all I'm taking. A peek don't mean a glance, after all.
Lizzie!
Shut the door if you don't want to get into trouble. Imagine little old me in the blue room of the White House. My daddy would have never believed it.
Lizzie, you're impossible.
I think you like it. The danger, the excitement. Just thinking that any moment now the president could walk in on us. Whatever would he say?
I haven't got long, you know.
I bet he wouldn't say that.
No, I mean...
All right, Thomas Eckert, you in. Just so long as you take me out tonight.
Oh, I can't. Not tonight. Mr. Stanton, he'd have my guts for...
Shh! Don't be silly, sugar. Why shouldn't you have some time off? Who'll be any the wiser?
Lizzie, no.
Say you go down with something. You could write a note.
I'm not a well man, it's true.
Poor baby. Come to your Lizzie. She's got just the medicine you need.
Major Eckert!
Miss Harris,
Oh, I can scarce believe my eyes.
Relax, sister. Me and the Major just fancied a little sit-down. That's all.
Major Eckert? Who is this creature?
I can explain, Miss Harris. Really, I can.
Oh, you'll explain all right. To the President of the United States. To Abraham Lincoln himself.
Of course, Mr. Wilde is going to be appearing himself, seeing as he's a fine actor in his own right. Is it true his Prospero was praised by your own Queen Victoria?
I dare say that's what he told you, yes.
And his bottom, a marvel to behold, apparently.
Predictable.
I've never seen him work, of course, but you can't argue with the notices. Oh, we turn left here.
I don't suppose it could be the real Oscar Wilde, could it, Doctor? You're not going to tell me he was a time traveller, too.
Well, it wasn't in the programme notes when I saw the opening night of Ernest, 30 years from now.
I thought not. Besides, what would he travel around in? A handbag?
No. Abraham Lincoln is assassinated here tonight at Ford's Theatre. There's more to this, and I mean to find out what it is. Come on.
Is it much further, Mr. Ford?
A regular rabbit warren, ain't it? Lost a bear dancing act down here once. Pops, he reckons they're still here. Says that every now and again he hears this weird and unearthly growl.
Oh, fascinating.
Oh, just this way. Say, if you're a real doctor, could you take a look at my neck? It hurts every time I do this.
Well, don't do that, then.
He's not strictly a medical man, Mr. Ford.
Oh, right. Some kind of affectation for the stage? I've heard about your English music hall, of course. But quite frankly, fat women singing songs about almost getting married won't cut the mustard with an American audience. We like our entertainment a little more sophisticated, if you know what I mean. Oh, here we are. Mr. Wilde? Mr. Wilde? I guess he's resting.
I don't care if he never works again.
Hey!
Wilde! Wilde! Oh.
Empty. Oh, what a pong.
The air does seem a little heavy.
We must have missed him.
Interesting cabinet. Warm.
Kinda like your blue box.
Kinda. A magician's vanishing box. Reminds me of Chungling Su's.
Chungling whose?
The marvellous Chinese conjurer. Did the old bullet-catching trick. Saw him do it for the last time, in fact.
Don't tell me the bullet caught him.
The Wood Green Empire, 1918.
1918?
We have to find this Wilde and quickly. Where is he, Mr. Ford?
I don't have to be telling you nothing.
It's important, man. Where else would he be?
Last I knew, old Johnny Booth was coming down to read for him.
John Wilkes Booth?
Well, how many Johnny Booths do you know in this city?
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Look, I don't know who you...
I think it's time we told him who we really are.
Evelyn, don't make it any worse.
Mr. Ford, we never sleep.
Pinkerton! You're with the Pinkertons! Well, hell, why didn't you say? Of course you couldn't. Two real-life Pinkerton men here in my theater. So, how can I assist?
We need to find Wilde.
He might be reading with Booth, on stage, I guess. There's more than one way up.
Evelyn, wait here with Ford. Don't let him out of your sight.
What are you going to do?
Explain later.
So, what's this all about? Is Wilde in trouble?
He will be when the doctor finds him.
Hey, he left a couple of glasses behind. I don't mind telling you, I could do with a drink.
Be my guest, Mr. Ford.
Major Eckert, this is the White House. You have a position of trust here. How dare you abuse it?
Miss Harris, please.
Oh, where's the harm? He was just showing me around. Loosen your corset, will you?
Major Eckert, would you please remove your friend?
I got as much right to be here as you do.
Oh, I, my dear, am the daughter of a senator. You, clearly, are the daughter of the gutter.
Lizzie, wait outside.
I was already going. Good day, ma'am. Oh, and Thomas, you won't forget your promise, will ya?
Thomas, what in God's name were you thinking?
Miss Harris, Clara, please. This was a moment of madness.
There's madness everywhere today. This rally this morning, It turned nasty. I swear I even heard voices calling for the president's blood.
The president is safe. Surrounded by good men and true, believe me.
I wish I could, but when you can't even trust the police.
The police?
Fella named Parker in the crowd, not bothering himself unduly. And then I returned to find you, Thomas, cavorting with some jade. Oh, in the blue room.
Perhaps I'd better escort her out. You won't tell Stanton, will you?
I don't know. Trust is a fickle thing, Major Eckert. Once lost, it takes a lot to get it back.
I understand.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country, and the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Perhaps a fraction less gutter snipe, Mr. Booth.
More like this.
Let's plough on. Top of the next page.
My dear Algy.
That's it.
My dear Algy, I don't know whether you'll be able to understand my real motives. You're oddly serious enough. When one is placed in the position of guardian...
One has to adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects.
Oh, no. Doctor.
Dr. Robert Knox, formerly of Edinburgh.
What's he talking about, Wilde?
Take 5, dear boy.
5 what?
Minutes. We have a critic in the house.
Sir.
Now, Doctor, I do hope you'll not be adopting a high moral tone.
Oh, zip it, Knox, or Wilde, or whatever you're currently calling yourself.
Knox will do. I grew rather attached to the name, as a matter of fact.
So they haven't caught up with you yet?
That's the beauty of owning a TARDIS, isn't it? You can always stay one step ahead, or behind. I put in the odd appearance now and then, just to show my face, drop off a couple of articles for the newspaper, perhaps something larger for my publisher. You know my books on fishing are proving extremely popular. Of course, in this day and age, the play is the thing.
Business is good, then?
Oh, flourishing. There's fantastic money to be made out of the legitimate theatre, particularly when the whole of Earth's future is mine to plunder. Wilde, Beckett, Orton, Pinter. I can pour myself a bowl full of greatness at the merest flick of a switch.
Is that what you've become? A temporal plagiarist?
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear fellow. Don't try it.
Get on with it, Wilde. I haven't got all day.
Why? What else have you got planned, Mr. Booth? Busy day ahead?
I don't care for your tone, sir.
Careful, Doctor. Mr. Booth is a man of passion.
Isn't he just?
Well, sir, out with it.
Well, as you were. I'm watching you, Knox. Perhaps you'd allow me to watch you rehearse. I'm a great fan of Mr. Wilde's work.
Very well, but don't interrupt. From when one is placed?
Why not?
When one is placed in the position of guardian, one has to adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It's one's duty to...
What's the matter with you? Knox?
No, I haven't a clue.
Stop! Stop!
Oh, Dr. Smythe. Such an expected pleasure.
You!
I'm sorry, Mr. Wilde. I couldn't stop her.
There's poison, Doctor.
Poison?
In the elderberry cordial. In Knox's dressing room. I mean, I can't be sure, but I'm always suspicious of elderberries which smell of almonds.
Poison? Wilde, you...
Booth? Mr. Booth!
Oh, no.
Changing history again, are we, Knox?
Booth! Come on, Booth!
Too late, I fear, Mr. Ford.
This man's dead.
Now, please don't agitate yourself. He was a dreadful actor in any case.
Dead. In Ford's theatre!
Doctor, if Booth's dead, who's going to kill the president?
Who indeed? changing history again, are we, Knox?
Booth! Come on, Booth!
Too late, I fear, Mr. Ford.
This man is dead.
Now, please don't agitate yourself. He was a dreadful actor in any case.
Dead. In Ford's theater!
Doctor, if Booth's dead, who's going to kill the president?
Who indeed? This is murder.
And this article is responsible.
Not so.
But the poison...
Who's to say it wasn't meant for me? What if old man Grover got wind of my arrival? He's a formidably jealous theatrical rival.
You really expect us to believe that?
I've nothing to hide. Mr. Ford, call the police.
The police? Are you mad? General Grant is coming tonight.
And the president.
Damn it, Wild, we can't afford to get wrapped up in scandal.
Mr. Ford, a man is dead. Presidential visit or no, something must be done.
I'll tell the police. I will. Tomorrow. In the meantime, you gotta help me move the body. Oh, come on, Wild. You wouldn't want to see me ruined.
Of course I wouldn't, but it's my back. An old war wound.
Waterloo, was it?
The charge of the Light Brigade.
Oh.
My bayonet snagged in my new cardigan. I fell off my horse.
Pops! Pops, you gotta help me! Pops!
This has to stop, Knox.
What? I've done nothing.
You call murder nothing?
With Booth dead, time's equilibrium is irretrievably upset.
I know. Lincoln will live.
And what do you get out of that?
Well, Lincoln is rather good value, you know. Have you met him yet? Lovely chap. So articulate. For an American. Once his term is over, I've got great plans. Lecture tours all over Europe and the East.
With you on 10%.
The Gettysburg Address. Oh, that's a cracker. Goes down a storm. Of course, he'll need some new material.
Lincoln's We Shall Fight Them on the Beaches.
Lincoln's Ich bin ein Berliner.
Lincoln's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I say, that's rather good.
Booth may be dead, but that doesn't mean Lincoln is safe. Time abhors this sort of thing. I promise you, Knox, right now, time is working silently to repair the damage you've done.
Damn it! Pops!
Let's just see, shall we? No joy, Mr. Ford. Come on. Let's try backstage. Two minds are better than one.
Doctor?
What?
Lincoln didn't deserve to die. I know. Not like that. But if he lives, then the consequences for American civil rights will be catastrophic.
I told you time won't tolerate this sort of thing. Do you really think that right now only one man in America hates Lincoln enough to want to kill him?
So Booth's death could inspire another assassin. Perhaps Ford is right to keep this from the police. The fewer witnesses there are, the less history will be disrupted.
Evelyn, once we start covering up dead bodies, we may as well go into partnership with Knox. No, my mind's made up.
And?
We call Knox's bluff. We find a policeman.
Well, you're the Time Lord.
Yes. And don't I sometimes wish I wasn't?
So there I was. In the Blue Room. Can you believe it, Johnny? And in stormed this stuck-up piece. Disrespecting me, she was.
And you, such a fine lady, Lizzie. That physic hit the spot. I feel better already.
A police officer needs that much medicine. He shouldn't be on duty.
Quit it, girl. How's it stand with you and the Major? Everything set for tonight?
Of course. I promised you, didn't I?
And this woman?
Clara Harris.
Her, yeah. She didn't hear nothing. You're sure of that?
Sure, I'm sure. Thomas and me were just, planning our evening.
Spare me the details. Get me another quart. I'm dry.
I'm out of money.
Just have to earn some, won't you?
Johnny.
Don't you worry, girl. There'll be plenty coming from the Major when we fronted him up. Desertion, degeneracy. He'll be bleeding dollar bills for years.
Help! Is there a policeman in here?
Oh, hell.
Officer? Officer, you have to come with me. There's been a murder at Ford's Theatre.
and therefore it is with great regret that I must hand over this responsibility to a man of strength. I remain your obedient servant, Thomas Eckert. Not even convincing myself. Lizzie, the things I do for you. I fear, sir, my malady has returned with such a vengeance that it could affect my reliability in this most honorable of duties.
Murder! I said murder! At Ford's Theatre! Oh, is no one interested in history?
They think you're promoting something, Doctor.
Promoting?
Julius Caesar, perhaps?
Do I look like some street corner huckster?
Well, now you come to mention it, sir.
Doctor, this is Officer Parker. Come to our aid.
The way he's swaying, Evelyn, isn't he the one in need of assistance?
He's all I could find.
What's all this about a murder? Because if this is some kind of stage door hustle, I can book you in for a week-long engagement in the cells.
No need for that, officer. Someone's died here on stage.
Wouldn't be the first time at Ford's.
An actor. John Wilkes Booth.
Booth? Booth? Oh, that's a good one. He's put you up to this, right? Joking Johnny.
You know him?
Of course I do. What's the scoundrel up to now?
Not much. Just sort of staring.
Evelyn, I assure you, sir, there's no joke. Your friend Booth lies stone dead inside this theatre.
Show me.
Pops! Pops! Oh, where's that boy got to?
Perhaps I poisoned him, too, and sequestered the body.
Well, that doctor must be plumb crazy, Mr. Wilde. I mean, murderer? You? Well, anyone can see a gentleman so refined and delicate as you has no taste for killing.
Well, quite. I must say the sight of that poor, dead, beautiful boy with his eyeballs rolled back and his tongue lolling out.
Oh, there. I got you.
Thank you, dear sir. I'll be all right. Just my condition.
Condition?
Touch of the vapors. The old oopizootics, you understand.
Oh, what am I thinking? Wilde, you need rest. Your dressing room, it's just along here.
Oh, is it?
Oh, what in heaven's name?
Oh, it came from the stage. You best hurry, Mr. Ford. I'll catch you up.
No, you just wait here, Mr. Wilde. I'll be back in 2 shades.
You do that, Mr. Ford. You do that. Oh, truly, some mothers do have them.
No!
Officer Parker, I realize you're distressed.
Distressed ain't the half of it, lady. Why, I only saw Johnny Booth this very morning. And now I ain't ever gonna get back the money he owed me.
Oh. And there was me thinking Booth was your friend.
Sure, he was a friend. A friend I underwrote for $50 and a hand of poker just last night. Who's gonna settle Johnny Booth's debts? The devil, that's who.
This is all very edifying, Parker, but the means by which he met his end...
The suddenness, the rictus expression...
All of it points to one conclusion: murder most foul.
Now, that's a foolish assumption to be making, and you know it, Doctor.
Ford.
Parker, I'm sorry for your being dragged away from your duties for this unfortunate accident.
Accident? Mr. Ford, a man in the prime of his life is hardly likely to drop dead rehearsing a play.
Well, the way I hear it, Booth's been burning the candle at both ends for years. It wouldn't surprise me if his heart gave out.
What about the evidence, Ford?
Poison in the elderberry cordial?
Damn it, Ford, cover Booth's face, will you? I swear he's giving me the evils, in death as in life.
Oh, I can do better than that. Mind your footing, folks.
What's he doing now?
Evelyn, back!
Trap door!
Oh.
There. Nice and quiet down there. He won't be disturbed. Well, except for the rats.
Ford!
Now then, what's all this about the elderberry cordial?
It was poisoned.
She said.
And she is?
She is Dr. Evelyn Smythe.
Evelyn Smythe.
Of Pinkerton's.
Pinkerton's, huh?
Well, not exactly.
But you said...
What my associate meant is, we're, in fact...
Freelance.
Freelance. Yeah. So, bounty hunters, huh?
Officer Parker, surely it'd be best if we showed you the cordial in question.
The way I'm thinking, it'd be best if I showed you and your lady friend the nasty side of Tommy Truncheon.
Well, I've never heard it called that before.
You were saying the cordial.
The elderberry cordial, in the dressing room.
Booth's dressing room?
Dr. Knox's dressing room.
Doctor who?
She means Wild.
Dr. Wilde?
No, his name's Dr. Knox. He's just posing as Wilde.
Well, we don't know his real name. It's not Knox or Wilde.
Evelyn!
Where is he, by the way?
Who?
Knox! Wilde!
Now, you said...
Officer, please, you can catch up later. Ford!
What?
Where's Wilde?
Well, I left him in his dressing room.
With the evidence.
More to the point, with his TARDIS.
His TARDIS?
His Chinese cabinet. You don't think...
Oh, yes, I do. Come on!
Well, now, reckon I'm 2 arrests away from being all done here. Oh, let's get after them.
Officer Parker, it can wait, can't it? Until the morning?
Well, that depends.
Excellent. Well then, let's discuss it in my office.
Lead on, Junior.
Elevator doors closing.
Scanner.
Scanner activating.
Doctor, try again, my dear fellow. 3, 2, 1, heave! Oh, bang on cue.
Where is he?
Hidden away in his curious cabinet. Show yourself, Knox! Open up! Open up, I say!
If you insist, doors.
Opening doors.
Meddler, miscreant, misanthrope, murderer!
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but alliterations will never hurt me. Now you're letting a draft in. Close.
Closing doors.
Voice control? You've got voice control?
I've traded up all the mod cons. There's even an elevator.
An elevator?
You sound more like Lady Bracknell every day. I'm confused. Why hasn't Knox,
You're done a bunk already? Oh, I'm sure the doctor will have worked that out. What with his towering intellect and all.
Well, Doctor?
His TARDIS is broken.
Operational status?
TARDIS functions at optimum.
And then he's staying around to guard against my interfering with his plans.
Well, surely with Booth dead, the damage is done.
Well, his fatal arrogance compels him to remain behind and gloat.
I don't know about you, Dr. Smythe, but I'm far from convinced. No, the reason I'm still here is actually... Well, I think it would be better if I show you.
Oh, no, you don't. Hands off the console, Knox. I'm not having you lure us into some cross-dimensional trap. I wasn't born yesterday, you know.
Really, Doctor, all this fuss, we're only headed a few blocks north and west. The fact is, at my time of life, I need to save my legs. Don't you trust me?
I'd sooner trust a fox to run a chicken coop.
Then why not pilot the machine yourself? It's just a small spatial displacement to Lafayette Park.
Why not pilot?
Well, why not? Sounds reasonable.
I understand your reticence, Doctor. This is, after all, a rather better TARDIS than you're used to. And its functions must seem rather baffling. Perhaps if I
could manage perfectly. Give me manual control.
Manual control now in operation.
Small spatial displacement, is it? Easy peasy.
Sluice engaged.
That can't be right.
Why, I thought it best to shed some ballast before takeoff.
Might I suggest open flange, crank lever, and press enter?
This machine needs a service, Knox.
Don't we all?
Oh, come in, officer. Take the weight off your feet, Seagull.
Don't mind if I do. You need to be careful, Ford, leaving your office unlocked. The street scroats are getting bolder, and I should know.
Oh, quite.
And your money box. Here for the picking. Ain't you heard of crime prevention?
Oh, yes. The thing is, Parker, I can't afford for nothing to go wrong for me today. What with General Grant due here tonight, and the president.
I appreciate your problem, Mr. Ford, I do. Actors dropping dead, playwrights running wild, bounty hunters crawling around backstage. Why, if Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln got wind of it, chances are they'd head over to Grover's instead.
Precisely.
But if what you're proposing is I turn a blind eye to what I've seen here this morning, I'm afraid I can't oblige.
You can't?
I've got to account for my movements, you see, and if my sergeant asked me what I was doing at Ford's this morning, I've got to give him an answer.
Sure you have. I understand.
Terribly bold, those street scroats are. In and out in a flash, with a full night's takings. Personally, I'd lynch him. Let him dangle as an example, like.
Officer Parker, it seems as though all last night's takings have gone.
Have they now?
In an instant.
Those rotten scroats. And you know, Mr. Ford, fact is, when they've tried something once, they'll try it again.
Again?
Wouldn't be surprised if I'd have come back here tomorrow morning to find your box office thieved once more.
Oh.
And if I should happen to find a dead actor lying here, well, I think those scroats had been disturbed, wouldn't you?
I suppose I would.
Oh. I'll be seeing you in the morning then.
You will.
Oh, and Ford.
What?
Be sure you get another box of those cigars in.
A bush?
Well, we are in a park. It's perfectly reasonable.
A less thorny one would have been reasonable.
Speaking of your chameleon circuit, Knox, Chun-Ling Su's cabinet.
Down to the last bullet hole. Here we are, Lafayette Park. The White House due south.
And a military encampment east.
There's been a war, you know.
I know.
But that needn't detain us now. Onward, my friends.
We're not really going to humour this monster, are we, Doctor?
I don't see we've any choice. Booth may be dead, but the effect of his absence won't in history for another 10 hours or so. Until then, time is in flux.
So things can be changed back.
Things can be rearranged, maybe. But first, I need to know what Knox is really up to.
He's after Lincoln. He said so himself.
Oh, Evelyn. You didn't really believe that, did you? Oh, Knox will have a bigger plot in mind.
Well, why Lincoln, I wonder? Why not Garfield or McKinley or Kennedy? He'd be the biggest draw of the lot.
Do hurry up, you two.
Come on, Dr. Smythe. Our nemesis is getting impatient.
What's keeping her?
We're waiting for something, Knox?
For someone, but she's late. I don't understand it. She's usually punctual as anything. 12 o'clock on the dot. Ah, there she is.
She rides well. Who is she?
An angel of mercy, Dr. Smythe. Miss Harris. Miss Harris!
Whoa there. Oh, Mr. Wilde, a pleasure to see you again.
Oscar, please. I feared our avian friends might be disappointed today.
I was slightly detained, Mr. Wilde. Government business.
Miss Harris, I take it? Miss Clara Harris?
Yes, ma'am. Do I know you?
Evelyn, what is it?
Miss Harris, allow me to introduce two of my fellow compatriots.
A pleasure, Miss Harris.
Theatricals, is it?
Doctors, actually. This one being Evelyn Smythe.
Then I am delighted to make your acquaintance as doctors. Oh, forgive me, Mr. Wilde. I don't have long today. Would you mind helping me with these sacks?
I would be honored.
That war wound soon healed.
Well, surely your horse doesn't need all this, Miss Harris?
It's for the birds, sir. Oh, thank you, Mr. Wilde.
Miss Harris is a great friend to the creatures of the park. Every day at 12 o'clock, she hies away with scraps from last night's White House table. She's famous for it. Of course, the soldiers camped here love her, too. As soon as she's gone, it's open season. There's many a wren and a grebe ends up in a hungry squatter's pot, all thanks to Miss Harris.
What's all this about, Knox?
You see?
No, there, that's all. That's all there is.
All done for today.
Oh, alas, yes. I must away, Mr. Wilde. A pity I cannot dally with you and your theatrical friends.
Tomorrow, then?
Tomorrow, yes. Away! Away!
Isn't she the most charming creature?
Clara Harris, daughter to a senator.
Breeding well out.
And chief witness to the crime that's meant to unfold tonight.
So that's it.
She knows her stuff, Doctor. Late this afternoon, General and Mrs. Grant will cancel their engagement and take the night train to Burlington. Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln will invite Miss Harris and her fiancé, Major Rathbone, in their stead. That was when I first saw her, wrapped in a modest shawl in the box at Ford's. The Major to her right, Mrs. Lincoln to her left, all of them leaning forward over the rail to hear Harry Hawk's patter.
Don't know the manners of good society, eh? Well, I guess I know enough to turn you inside out, old gal. You soft-energizing old man.
That's when Booth made his entrance. No hogging the limelight for him. He was too good an actor for that. Hawk's laugh, the one he knew was coming, that was his cue. He stepped into the box from the rear, said very quietly, Mr. President, and fired. And I promise you, this is the truth. At the very moment his derringer discharged, I'm ashamed to admit it.
What?
Well, as you know, a while back I caught something of a cold, all sorted out now, but in the very instant, Booth's pistol cracked.
I do beg your pardon. Well, now, when I think what I've thrown away in hard cash today, I'm apt to call myself some awful hard names. $400,000 is a big pile for a man to light his cigar with.
But something was happening off to Hawk's right. The Major reacted, but Booth was on him at once with his Bowie knife. Oh, I've seen it up close. It's a terror. Miss Harris turned then, her lovely mouth open for what seemed like forever before the sound came out. And then there Booth was, vaulting the rail, stood for a moment in full view of all and crying out loud,
Six Semper Tyrannis!
Oh, was it?
The thou shall be avenged!
I was so caught up in it all, I can't seem to remember. He landed on stage and darted past Hawk, fled into the wings. Finally, it was Miss Harris's moment.
Stop that man! Will no one stop that man? He has shot the president!
The comedy turned to tragedy. The greatest night of Miss Harris's life turned into the worst. Her becoming blue dress became reddened in the Major's arterial blood.
Oh, that's enough, Knox.
It's not the worst of it, though. The Major recovers. Physically, at least. But the night's madness never leaves him. 20 years or so later, he takes a gun and a knife, just like Booth. He shoots her and stabs her to death.
Evelyn.
It's awful. Just awful.
I know. Oh, what was Lincoln? Just another here today and gone tomorrow politician? His usefulness behind him? But Clara, oh, hardly anyone weeps for poor dead Clara.
Her life ended that night, surely as Lincoln's.
Knox, answer me something. Are you in love with Miss Harris?
Doctor, Miss Smythe, we should away to the theatre.
Answer me!
Come on, away. The troopers' bellies are rumbling and we seem to be in the firing line.
Answer me!
Patience, sugar. Patience.
Damn it, Lizzie, it's me.
John Parker, just because you've had a skinful doesn't mean you get to take liberties.
I've not got liberties in mind. Not of that kind, anyway.
John, whatever's the matter?
Shut the door, girl.
I can't say I care for your tone.
Shut the damn door!
Whatever you say, sugar.
Booth's dead.
Johnny Booth?
Of course, Johnny Booth. Heart gave out, it looks like. I went to his room hoping to get back some of the money he owed me. He banked a lot of it, curse him. But it's what else I found. Maps and letters, plans and schemes. Read here.
For a long time, I have devoted my energies to the accomplishment of a certain end. The moment has arrived. Posterity, I am sure, will justify me. Men who love their country better than gold and life.
And there's more, much more. The evidence is irrefutable.
What's it mean, John?
Booth was plotting to murder the president.
Oh, my.
Soon, maybe even tonight. Who'd have thought a preen and ham actor would have so much in him?
But this is terrible.
Terrible if Lincoln should escape, oh yes. But I'll tell you what, Lizzie. Old Booth's gonna have his day after all. How's your Major Eckert?
Thomas? He's fine, I guess.
I need him here. Within the hour.
The hour? I could send him a note.
You do that. I got a plan, Lizzie. But there's only 3 things stood in my way. The playwright Wilde and the 2 people he's associated with. A man and a woman, doctors they are, bounty hunters.
What do you mean?
They gotta die. Now. This afternoon. And your Major Eckert's gonna be their assassin. Things stood in my way. The playwright Wilde and the 2 people he's associated with. A man and a woman, doctors they are, bounty hunters.
What do you mean?
They gotta die. Now. This afternoon. And your Major Eckert's gonna be their assassin.
Knox? In love? Oh, Doctor, I refuse to believe that creature is capable of feeling.
Oh, he wouldn't be the first man to lose his head over a pretty girl, Evelyn. Miss Clara Harris amply fulfills that criterion.
Oh, does she?
Perhaps he's having a midlife crisis.
Do come along, you two.
Midlife? He must be older than Methuselah.
He may not have grown a ponytail or bought himself a pair of leather trousers, but it's the Time Meddler's equivalent.
I'm not waiting all day, you know.
I'm sorry, Doctor, but I don't buy this whole love-struck teenager routine. It stinks, much like Knox himself.
Lavender and bergamot. Not a very happy marriage, I'll admit.
That's just the top note of his distinctive fragrance. I'm talking about underneath that. Haven't you noticed? He absolutely sings.
No need to get personal, Evelyn.
And his breath. Oh, like a Labrador with halitosis.
I'll give you the count of 10.
Well, then he won't get far with Clara Harris, will he?
Oh, poor thing. She doesn't have much luck. Her fiancé, Major Rathbone.
Yeah, murders her, I know.
He's also her stepbrother.
Oh, Evelyn. Morals before evensong.
I'm just saying.
Look, if it's any consolation, I don't believe Knox's profession of love any more than you do. If all he wanted was to save Clara, He needn't have killed Booth. He need only ensure that Clara never receives her invitation from the Lincolns to join them at the theatre. He need only stop the White House messenger.
Well, why don't we do that, then?
Evelyn, no.
Knox has changed history, so can we. Let's steal his idea and stop the messenger.
Knox's idea would be to shoot the messenger. No, I'm not fiddling with the timeline further on the grounds that he started it.
Then you won't warn Clara about Knox's intentions?
We don't know his intentions.
We don't? Well, I thought it was pretty obvious. Major Rathbone very soon meets a premature demise.
Evelyn, we don't know that for certain.
Oh, and while she's still in widow's weeds, there he'll be all there, and such a shame. And an old bird may be tough, my dear, but it can still be tasty.
Evelyn, we have to deal with this one step at a time.
Suit yourselves, you can walk. Doors!
Huh? Oh, no! Now see what's happened.
Don't look at me. It's not my fault.
No, of course it isn't. Nevertheless, had it not been for your gassing, we'd be inside the TARDIS now.
My gassing? Right. That is it.
No, Evelyn, come back. I'm sorry. It was an unfortunate choice of word, that's all. Evelyn!
You could stop it, Doctor. Save Clara from a lifetime's misery, but you won't.
You don't understand. There's more at stake here than Clara Harris.
I'm going to clear my head. Alone.
Evelyn, you won't do anything...
Stupid? Stupid, were you about to say? Another choice word. No, Doctor, I won't do anything stupid.
I'll see you back at Ford's, then.
I dare say you will.
Fast return engaged.
You know what, TARDIS? I rather think my work in 1865 is done. The Doctor's taking care of business now.
New input received. Thank you, Dr. Knox.
My pleasure. Now, shall we sell snow to some Eskimos?
Course corrected.
The Doctor's in for such a nice surprise. It's almost a shame I won't be around to see it. Damn, where's that hanky? Blood. There's blood here. Blood!
Dr. Knox, I recommend your immediate transfer to sickbay.
No! Engage elevator function. Floor Gamma 7.
Elevator doors closing. Going down. Would you like some music, Dr. Knox?
Oh, yes, please. Anything. Oh, that's good. Very jolly.
Lizzie.
Thomas, you got here. You sure no one saw you?
I hope not. Lizzie, your note...
You best come in.
Desperate, I see you, it said. It had better be, Lizzie. Bad enough to be swinging the lead in the first place, but swinging it for the sake of...
Of what, Major Eckert?
Officer, I can explain.
I bet you can. Close the door, Lizzie. And you just sit yourself down on the bed.
I've been under a mental strain, officer. You have to understand it's a temporary lapse.
Not if these billets doux here are to be believed. What do we got here? December 10, October 13, February 22. Big date, February 22. My darling Lizzie, to what wild shores did we row last night?
Don't.
Fact is, I won't. But only 'cause I can't find a further section I could read aloud without bringing down God's wrath on my tongue. This ain't the sort of thing any decent man should be up to, let alone anyone of rank.
They ain't so bad.
Lizzie, how could you? What were you thinking of? I'd have given you money if you'd needed it.
Don't be blaming the girl, Eckert. I don't pay heed to gossip as a rule, but gossip involving the president's chief protector? That's different.
Please, officer, can't we...
I ain't sure who you should be scared of most, Tommy. Your God, your wife, or Major Stanton.
I beg you.
You know what, Tommy? I reckon in spite of it all, you're still a good soldier. Sure, you strayed from the path, but don't we all from time to time? It's not my place to ruin a man's career, destroy his reputation, cast him into darkness.
Oh, thank you, officer. Thank you.
Don't be thanking me too soon. You're a soldier, Tommy, and as luck would have it, a soldier's exactly what I need just now. A good, brave, fearless soldier.
I don't understand.
Lizzie, fix me and the Major a drink.
Sure.
Let me guess. Tommy here, he takes it with a twist. But I ain't fooling now, Tommy. What I've got to tell you is in deadly earnest. Being a police officer, I get to hear when there's aliens in town.
Aliens?
Here you go.
English aliens. Over the street, over at Ford's, there's 3 strangers hiding out. Didn't arrive by boat, didn't arrive by stage, smuggled in, pretending to be actors. You know what they really are, Tommy? Seditionists. Seditionists and counter-revolutionaries here in D.C. to destroy Lincoln's peace before it's hardly begun.
What?
John, is it true?
A strong, united American nation? That's the last thing the English want. A nation torn apart by civil strife, forced to call for help across the water, obliged to give up its independence. Oh, yes. That's the plan of that witch, Victoria.
But how?
Think about it. They're at Ford's. Who else is going to be at Ford's tonight?
The president.
I got no evidence, Major. None at all. Can't arrest them, can't detain them, can't search their rooms. I know, though. I know I need a soldier. A brave, fearless soldier with an alibi. One who's told his boss he's taken ill.
I see. And Lizzie?
Never seen you with her, nor ever will. Those rumors must be wrong, and I'll be sure to tell my superiors so. Just to be on the safe side, however, I'll hold on to these letters for now.
A soldier. Yes.
Good man.
Floor Gamma 7.
Thank you. Can the can, will you? It doesn't suit the ambience.
As you wish, Dr. Knox. Elevator doors closing.
The cage is secure. The beast is contained. So why this decay? Answer me. Well, if that's how you want to play it, my little will-o'-the-wisp, let's give you a little prod. A couple of 1,000 volts ought to do it. Right, tonight. Now come on, tell me all about it.
The link I cannot maintain. The link.
Speak up, will you? I don't have an ear trumpet to hand.
There is contamination. The link is broken.
What are you talking about? There's no contamination here.
There is in you, Knox.
No, come back. What do you mean in me?
There you go, boy. Isn't that better? Could be in a cavalry charge with a height so fine and attack so trim.
Excuse me? Hello?
Yes?
Oh, sorry. I was about to ask if this was the Harris residence.
May I help you, ma'am?
I think it's more a case of may I help you. Lovely beast.
He is.
I don't know if you remember me from earlier. In the park?
With Mr. Wilde, yes. You're the actor.
Doctor. But we'll let that pass. Listen, it was Mr. Wilde I wanted to talk to you about.
I really can't imagine why.
Have you known him long?
Strange old man. I cast a smile his way sometimes. A minor act of charity to someone not so fortunate.
Well, no more smiles, please.
Oh, heavens, I should have realized. You're his wife.
I most certainly am not. Listen, Miss Harris, I came here to warn you about Mr. Wilde.
Indeed?
I'm sorry to say he has designs on you.
So? Let him. You surely don't think his feelings could be reciprocated, do you?
Well, you never know.
As if I, a senator's daughter, engaged to be married, might ever bestow my favors on some stinking itinerant.
Oh, you noticed it too. The smell.
You theatricals, you are all the same. Degenerate, filthy-minded libertines, you, Wild Booth. Oh, the pack of you.
Booth? You know John Wilkes Booth?
It has been my misfortune to meet that smirking Bacchus twice today, early on this morning, and again not half an hour since.
I think you must be mistaken.
I think it is you who are mistaken, Dr. Smythe. Both ran in front of me on Pennsylvania Avenue. Though I'd all but trampled him, he dared to tip his hat to me and wink.
Booth?
Yes, Booth. Now, ma'am, if you've concluded your interrogation, perhaps I might get on.
Of course. Forgive me. You have to understand, sometimes I'm a very stupid woman. Goodbye, Miss Harris.
Goodbye.
Booth alive? How on earth?
Ma'am! Excuse me, ma'am!
I'm so sorry. I was miles away. Can I help you?
Is this the Harris residence?
It is.
Only I've brung them a message. You'll never guess from who.
From whom? I expect it'll be from the White House. From the office of President Lincoln himself.
But that's... how did you...
What say you give it to me to pass on?
What say I don't?
Yes, you're probably right. I shouldn't interfere. You'll find Miss Harris over in the stable block. If you take it yourself, I dare say she'll tip you a nickel.
You think? Thanks, ma'am. Thank you.
Such a shame. Such a terrible shame.
Oh, come on. Shift, damn you. Go.
You in need of help with that trunk?
Who?
Ford the Younger, isn't it? Your brother's not around, I see.
Well, he's in Virginia. Won't be back till next week. Mr.
Major Thomas Eckert from the White House.
Oh, hell. Can I help you, Major?
Looks like you're the one in need of assistance. Don't you have stage hands to do your lifting and carrying?
Oh, that's Pops, normally. But he's...
It's all right. What you got in here, Ford? A dead body?
Just Pops. The props. Spears, helmets, that stuff. That's all.
Well, if we emptied it out...
No. You're right. This ain't a job for a gentleman. I gotta find that Pops and tan his lazy hide.
Have it your own way. Now, I've been dispatched to review the arrangements for Mr. Lincoln's visit tonight.
Oh, and General Grant's, too, of course.
The General's indisposed.
He is? Oh, well, it's not like the tickets ain't sold already.
I'll be wanting a list of all those persons working here.
My pleasure, sir.
I've got a question or two, in fact, about 3 particular individuals.
You have?
English individuals.
Damn.
Some feller named Wilde, and 2 so-called doctors.
Not come across them, no.
Then let me refresh your memory, Mr. Ford.
Ford?
Oh, those English individuals.
Oh, nice uniform. Major, is it? Well, Major, we have a major situation. There's an inveterate scoundrel by the name of Knox lurking somewhere backstage.
No, there isn't.
Ford.
No, I mean it, there isn't. I was in his dressing room not 5 minutes ago, and he's gone. His Chinese cabinet and all.
Gone? He should have been back here an hour ago.
Perhaps your seditionist partner got himself a case of cold feet.
Seditionist? Well, I suppose that's a fair enough description of Knox.
But I can still bag myself the rest of the gang. What? Hands aloft, sir.
Oh, this is preposterous.
Come on, or I'll shoot you where you stand.
Well, here's another fine mess I've gotten myself into.
Identify yourself, or I'll blow your head off.
John, it's me.
Damn. But I told you, Lizzie, not 3 times.
I'm sorry, John.
You got it all?
Horsehair and spirit gum, an opera cape and hat. Got some pretty funny looks, I don't mind telling you. What's it all for?
With the horsehair and gum, you're gonna make me a mustache, just like Johnny Booth's.
What you want a mustache for? Thought you shaved yours off because it itched.
Because tonight at Ford's, Johnny Booth is gonna kill that slave-loving crook Lincoln, just like his letters say.
Booth? But he's dead, you said.
And Officer John Parker, he's gonna emerge from the bowels of Ford's dragging the assassin's corpse. America's hero, the man who chased and killed bad Johnny Booth. Promoted, fated, set up for life.
You can't mean...
I can. I killed Lincoln disguised as Booth. Easy, seeing as I'm stationed at the theater tonight. Booth, he's lying there stiff, just waiting to be captured. His letters prove his guilt to one and all. And you and me, Lizzie, we'll be rich.
John, you can't. The president!
Imagine it, Lizzie. You and me on our plantation sipping whiskey, cotton pickers serenading us in the southern sun, singing Polly Wolly Doodle all day.
What about Ford? He knows about Booth being dead. And those others, the English folk.
Relax. Your Major Eckert is dealing with the Englishers. And Ford won't say nothing because he don't want no scandal attached to his theater. Moreover, Eckert won't say nothing because he don't want his love messages ended up in Stanton's hands.
And me?
And you won't say nothing, Lizzie.
John, please.
Fix us another drink, sweetheart.
Yes, John.
It's perfect. Lincoln, he's dead. Booth, he gets to go the way he wanted. John Parker, he's rich. Man, that was good whiskey.
I'm sorry, darling. I'm sorry. I gotta save the president. I gotta save Tommy. And them actors, too. Most of all, John Parker. I gotta save you from yourself.
Elevator doors closing. Awaiting your instructions, Dr. Knox.
Who'd have thought the old man could have so much blood in him?
Dr. Knox?
Yes, of course. Of course. Abandoned flight plan. Set return path.
To 1865?
Yes, to 1865. I have to go back. We have to go back.
Ow! Do you mind?
That's it, Ford. Make sure the straps are nice and tight.
I'm sorry, sir. I ain't a professional stagehand, as you know.
And I am not a professional stooge, Mr. Ford. What is this contraption, anyway?
The human spinning wheel. Some knife act left it behind. 6-gun Sadie and a Wild West troupe, if I recall.
Fascinating.
Boy, that Sadie was fully loaded, if you get my meaning.
Just turn the wheel, will you?
Well, if you're trying to disorientate me, you'll have to try a little harder.
I gather the usual modus operandi is to hurl knives at the person strapped to the wheel, avoiding all the vital parts.
I'm familiar with the concept.
But seeing as I have no such knives to hand, I'll have to use a Derringer pistol instead.
Major Eckert, are you sure about this?
Your seditionist allies, sir. Give me their names.
You've got the wrong end of the wrong stick, Major.
Turn it faster, Ford.
I've a stronger stomach than you think. Have you ever heard of Alton Towers?
You'll tell him, Doctor.
There's nothing to tell, Ford.
I'll count to 5. 1.
Oh, listen to me. There are no dark forces working here.
2.
Well, there were, but they've been and gone now.
3.
There was a plot to kill your president, that's true.
4.
But Dr. Smythe and myself, we were not a part of it.
5. Confess your part, sir.
I can't.
Then you damn yourself.
Gotta stop them. I just gotta.
Miss! Watch out!
What?
Whoa there! Whoa!
I've got you.
You could have got yourself trampled. You don't...
Leave her alone. Can't you see she's distressed?
Thank you, ma'am. But I gotta run.
Wait. Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
Doubt it. Let me go.
In that gin joint with Parker. I didn't catch your name.
Lizzie Williams. And you're one of them from the theater.
That's right, Lizzie.
Oh, but you got to run, miss. Out of D.C., run like the wind.
I'm hardly of an age for sprinting now.
He's waiting for you at Ford's, for you and your friends.
Who is?
Major Eckert. You got to get away from here before he kills you and your friends, and... The president.
He's going to kill the president.
No, Parker is. Just go.
Not a chance, young lady. We've got to sort all this out right now.
You're not going to Ford's.
I most certainly am. That's where he's gone. My friend, the doctor.
Miss? Come back, miss!
Well. Most unlike me to miss. I must be slipping.
Perhaps the sights are out.
We'll try again.
Major Eckert, this isn't right. How is it you're going to find out whatever it is you want if he's dead?
Spin the wheel, Ford.
Damn it, no!
Spin it, or I'll use your buttons for target practice.
You'd better do as he says, Mr. Ford. Our friend Eckert seems beyond reason.
I shan't tell you again.
You said that without moving your lips.
Spin.
Major Eckert, are you all right?
I have to stop the seditionists.
Kill.
Stop right there.
Oh, Evelyn, be careful. The Major's not himself.
Tommy, it's me, Lizzie. Listen to me, Tommy. You gotta listen.
2 more to kill.
Tommy, it's all right. Parker, he's out of it. You don't have to kill no one.
Kill.
I'll run you your letters back. I promise. No one will ever know.
No
one? No one will.
I don't know who you are, miss, but keep going. Evelyn, come up here and untie me. Slowly.
Coming, Doctor. Who tied you to this giant roulette wheel in the first place?
Our friend Ford.
Well, he can help untie you. These straps are too much for my arthritis. Ford, you help me.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right, Tommy. You give Lizzie the gun.
That's it, Lizzie. Calm and steady. The Major is on a hair trigger. Whatever's affecting him, and I have a nasty suspicion I know what it is, the slightest unexpected disturbance could tip him right over the edge.
What's that noise?
Oh, no. Not him.
Oh, not now, Knox. Help me off here. Quick!
No, you were...
Do not distract me from my task.
Tommy, please.
The shiny cabinet. It's appearing out of thin air. Oh.
Doctor, please. You have to help me.
Knox, get out of here before you get us all killed.
Bit too late for that, Doctor. I'm dead already.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Doctor. What did you think all that lavender and bergamot was hiding?
I told you he smelt rotten.
As ever, you were right, Miss Smythe. Literally so in this case. The flu virus I was infected with back in Edinburgh.
No, it's all right, I've got you.
I couldn't cure it. I was days, hours from death. I only had one course open to me, a deal with a creature who could keep me going after mortality's veil had finally fallen.
A creature like me.
Doctor, that blue glow round Eckert. I've seen it before.
Oh, yes. Under Brighton Pier with Maxie Miller. A strange blue glow. The sign of an alien entity to whom death is not the end, but a means to extend its ambitions.
You know of us.
I name you, creature. I name you.
We are the Indo. All of you will die now, but you will just be the first.
Excuse me? The first?
Millions will follow, all thanks to your president, Abraham Lincoln. So, who will we begin with?
Doctor, do something.
Old woman, you spoke first. We start with you.
No! Excuse me? The first?
Millions will follow. All thanks to your president, Abraham Lincoln. So, who will we begin with?
Doctor, do something.
Old woman, you spoke first. We shall start with you.
No!
Well, that's him dealt with.
Mr. Ford.
Sorry, I guess I should have said watch your feet before springing the trapdoor.
I thought you'd fainted.
Me? Well, never, Doctor. It was a tactical withdrawal.
Hey, I hope you ain't hurt, Tommy.
Well, let's see. Nope, still breathing. He looks to be well out of it, though.
Unconscious or not, the entity will soon regain its control. Ideally, we need some iron ore.
Or what?
O-R-E, Mr. Ford. Base metal. Oh. When we met this creature before, its powers were earthed by base metal.
We need something metal to contain it. Bind it until the energy discharges.
Handcuffs.
Perfect. Ford, I don't suppose 6-gun Sadie left behind a pair of handcuffs as well as a human spinning wheel?
I can check.
Don't worry. The Major, he'll have some in his pocket.
Ford, you and Lizzie here go down and secure the Major.
Hang on. He's not a policeman. What's he doing with handcuffs?
He borrowed them off me.
Oh.
This way, miss.
Right. Now for you, Knox.
I thought you'd forgotten about me.
I was otherwise engaged in saving our skins. Now, perhaps you wouldn't mind explaining what you meant
Doctor, I've suddenly remembered something I meant to tell you.
Well?
I went to see Clara Harris.
Oh, Evelyn!
Oh, don't worry, I've not done anything stupid. Anyway, the point is...
Hey, Doc!
What is it? Have you handcuffed Eckert?
Soon we'll have, but it's not him I'm worried about. It's Booth!
Booth? What's he talking about? What about him?
He's gone!
Gone? Let me see.
Well, that's where the body was, next to the Major here.
That's what I was trying to tell you, Doctor. Clara Harris said she'd seen him this afternoon. Alive.
Animated, perhaps, but not alive. What?
Of course. He's alive after all. That would explain everything.
It explains nothing.
Knox, what are you up to? Elucidate.
Let me tell you about Chong Ling Su and his most incredible illusion.
Don't tell me he's survived the bullet?
No, I think the illusion Knox is referring to is his very existence. His life was his greatest trick.
Quite so, Doctor. He wasn't Chinese at all. He was American. Fooled everybody. He even used an interpreter when giving interviews. A master of misdirection. You see, the greatest illusionists take their secrets to the grave.
Tell me, Knox. Tell me everything. Tell me now.
I can scarce believe it. Booth was alive all along? Boy, what an actor.
Well, he sure fooled John Parker. I don't like to think what'll happen when those two meet. My money's on Booth.
And my money's with Parker. That swine got all my takings, and for nothing.
Got him. Now, Tommy, dear, I'm just going to slip these on your wrists.
Lizzie?
Oh, careful, miss.
I'm here, Tommy. I'm here.
heartbeat. Quick, get his pistol. His pistol before he murders us both. That's right. Now keep him covered while I put the cuffs on.
Lizzie, it was terrible. This thing was in my head.
We know. We seek out despair and hopelessness. We make our home in the downtrodden, the beaten, the lost. That was you, Thomas Eckert.
It's in her. Oh, Lord, it's in her.
Quiet. The only reason you live is because we do not wish to attract the time travelers above.
Time travelers? Oh, sorry. Did you say time travelers?
Enough. Cuff yourselves tight.
I don't have much time, Doctor.
No. Steady your breathing. Channel your energy. We can control this.
Doctor, if he's dead already, there's not much we can do, is there?
You can do one thing, Miss Smythe. You can hear my confession. The creature that sustained me, I found it on Mercury, trapped in a crater of congealed iron magma. I promised it one of my magical history tours, if only it'd keep me going. The Booth experience, a chance to get inside the head of one of planet Earth's most notorious assassins. Oh, it loved the sound of that.
Oh, I bet it did. But how did you contain it?
Bound it in iron fetters and shut it up inside my TARDIS, a caged beast at my command.
If it was so well contained, how did it escape?
It didn't, Evelyn.
The doctor's right, my dear. It's still there now.
Well, if it wasn't your little pet which took over Eckert just now, what was it?
Another entity.
Another one?
How was I to know when I landed here that the Earth was peppered with its cousins and aunts and uncles?
Clinging like barnacles to human tragedy, drawn here by their hunger for misery and pain.
But why now? Why here? Surely the assassination of Lincoln can't be so monumental that these entities can smell it from space. It's just the death of one man, after all.
You're forgetting the bigger picture, Evelyn.
The American Civil War. Of course.
When I landed, my entity reached out into the psychic ether, called out to its kin, and its call was answered.
Answered by me.
Oh, no.
Miss Williams.
The Booth experience. We wanted it. We hungered for it.
Well, I couldn't be having it. Not another of those Indo on my trail. Then I had an idea. If I contaminated Booth...
Let me guess. With an extract of iron.
In the elderberry cordial.
That and cyanide. My plan was that when Booth died and the creature entered him, it would be trapped there as surely as the one inside my TARDIS.
My cousins warned me through the ether, alerted me to his murderous plan. All I had to do was nudge Booth telepathically to make him switch drinks with Knox.
The cyanide would have made no difference.
But the iron in his bloodstream...
severed my connection with my captive entity.
I still have a question. Why all that business with Clara Harris?
It's direction, Evelyn. The art of the illusionist. You've been playing us all along, haven't you, Knox? Wasn't a coincidence we landed here, was it? You got yourself into a pickle and you couldn't see your way out of it. You set me up!
No, you set yourself up.
Oh!
Brave doctor saves universe from time meddler. Booth's death was a means to trap the Indo. That's all I was here for. I needed you on hand to make sure history didn't go too far adrift. Rather noble, I thought.
Noble, my foot. You meant to leave us to put things right while you made good your escape.
Fiendish, aren't I? But I fear events have run out of my control. Friend Booth, it seems, wasn't such a pushover.
He feigned death to escape all our clutches.
What an actor. This is it. The big crunch.
No, wait, don't go.
Doctor, I bequeath to you my TARDIS. She will answer to your voice. Her isomorphic controls will respond to your touch. You can even free my entity if the mood takes you.
The entity will be released. It is not a matter of choice.
There is always a choice. Use my TARDIS well. Use it, Doctor. Use it.
I will, Knox. And thank you.
Quite all right, my dear fellow. Every star turn needs an understudy.
Understudy?
Doctor?
Understudy? The nerve of the man!
He's gone, Doctor. I don't believe it. He's crumbling away.
A dead man in evening dress, withered, wrinkled, and loathsome of visage.
Doctor, that's not a terribly flattering eulogy.
The picture of Dorian Gray. I thought he'd appreciate the analogy.
Enough. Our plan will continue.
Well, what plan? Knox is dead, Booth's out of your grasp.
Booth is not our primary focus.
I don't like the sound of this.
We shall take Clara Harris. She is miserable and cold. She will be with Lincoln when Booth fires his bullet.
Oh, no.
She will place herself between the gun and Lincoln. She will sacrifice herself to save Lincoln's life.
No.
Clara Harris will become a martyr, a saintly innocent struck down by the secessionist cause. Lincoln will avenge her murder and the attempt on his life. He will seek terrible retribution from the untamable South. The Civil War will continue, more furious, more bloody than before. A beacon of suffering to attract yet more of our kind.
I will not allow it.
You cannot stop it.
Parker? Parker!
Lizzie, you're being awful fierce.
Wake up, damn you, Parker!
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Hail Mary, Mother of God!
The sign of the cross won't protect you from me.
Please, God, no!
Bad Johnny Booth, back from the dead. How do you like that, John Parker?
Let the girl go. Lizzie Williams, let her go.
She's so afraid. We have almost smothered her spirit. When she kills you, it will crush her completely.
That's why I say let her go. I don't want my death on her conscience. Enter me instead.
Doctor, you can't.
You?
You heard, Knox. His TARDIS will respond to me and me alone.
You're not going to let the other one out.
If this one accepts my terms.
You presume to offer us terms?
I'm a Time Lord. Try to kill me and I'll regenerate. And if I regenerate, Knox's TARDIS won't know me from Adam. And your cousin will never be free.
We are unsure.
Of course, if a Time Lord were to willingly give up himself to you, why, all of history's horrors would be yours to visit.
Doctor, you're playing with fire here.
It's the only way, Evelyn. Think about it. The collected sufferings of countless billions on an infinity of planets, yours to be savoured at the flick of a switch.
You would offer us all this? On what condition?
You leave this planet alone. It's suffered enough. There's more than enough despair in the universe to go round, so we won't be making anything worse than it is already.
We are tempted.
Think it over. No pressure.
Doctor, this is madness.
Well, don't you get it, Evelyn? Every star turn needs an understudy. Knox knew the only way to save the Earth was to lure the entity off this planet using his TARDIS. That was his plan. And now, I have to carry it out. I've no choice.
There's always choice.
We accept. Let us in.
Excellent. Shall we go?
Wait, Doctor. If this is how it has to be, I'm coming with you.
You are not, Evelyn. I need you here in 1865. You, and only you, know what's supposed to happen this evening. You have to set history back on its correct course. The future of humanity is in your hands.
We are impatient. Submit to us, Doctor.
All right. Give me a chance.
Doctor, don't let this be goodbye.
It is too late for goodbyes, Dr. Smythe.
Tommy. Is that you, Tommy?
Doctor.
TARDIS, I command you to open. All of history's horrors, there for the picking.
Miss, what's happened to Tommy? Miss...
I've got you. Doctor, wait! I can't let you do this! Doctor!
Get back, Booth. Or so help me God, I'll
shoot me? You're shaking so bad, Parker. You couldn't hit me from 6 inches.
You're dead.
I'm an actor. Now put down your piece and let's talk business.
Business?
A little bird tells me you were in and out of my rooms earlier today.
I was?
Don't pretend now. I'm the actor. When I got back to my room, it was like a tornado had struck. All my correspondence scattered. My furniture upturned.
I could explain, John.
No need. It's pretty plain what happened. You thought I'd had it, so you wanted to take what you could before the law sequestered it.
I didn't take no money, Johnny. I promise.
I know. But I hope you'll take it now. Catch.
What's this?
$50, like you subbed me at poker. Don't let it be said Johnny Booth never settles his debts.
Thanks. That's mighty...
Anyhow, to business. Me and some friends, Payne, Atzerodd, and Harold, have a fine old evening planned. A night at the theater. But then you know that already. Don't you, Officer Parker?
Look, John,
Don't interfere, Parker. Not if you know what's good for you. You just crawl back inside that bottle and forget you ever met me. I bid you good night.
What's happened, Booth? You've changed.
What? Since I died, you mean? Maybe I have changed. But for the better, John. For the better. I guess I've seen the light.
This is the machine. This is our transport to the realms of infinite despair.
It is. But first I need to calibrate the destination settings.
No! First, you shall release our cousin from bondage.
Let's get one thing straight, shall we? If we must share the same body for all eternity, we can at least do each other the simple courtesy of allowing the other to finish their sentence. Capiche? TARDIS, the other Indo entity, where is it?
Entity located on floor Gamma 7.
Oh, that's a long way down. TARDIS, summon the lift, if you will. That was quick. Come on, you. Floor Gamma 7, please.
Elevator door.
No, stop! Belay that order.
What is the matter?
I've just realised. If I take you down there, the mass of iron required to bind your cousin will most likely pull you in too.
Is this true?
Don't take my word for it. TARDIS, calculate the flux density of the electromagnetic field on floor Gamma 7.
Flux density calculated at 5.9 picoteslas.
This is a lot.
I'll say. Yeah, lucky I thought of it. Look, you'll just have to pop out of me for 5 minutes.
No!
Well, then there's nothing I can do. Your cousin will have to remain caged up for eternity.
Very well.
Tell you what. You stay here in the lift. The TARDIS can whip up some localized resistance, I'm sure, to keep you safe. And that way, you can keep your eye on me. Or whatever passes for your eye, while I'm freeing your trapped cousin. Deal?
We conquer.
There you are. Ready? Good. TARDIS, close the doors if you would.
Elevator.
Hang on, I left my Pagos stick on the console. Back in a tick. And you can stay there. Now, TARDIS, don't ever, ever open those doors. Understood?
Understood.
Trapped in a metal box for all eternity. Sometimes I maze even myself. Now, destination settings. TARDIS. Can't seem to access the flight controls. What now?
Up here, on the scanner.
Knox! Are you a recording?
As you'll observe, Doctor, I'm a recording live from beyond the grave, as it were.
Oh, please.
You will observe that the flight controls have ceased to function. My TARDIS was instructed to revert to automatic mode 5 minutes after dematerialization. I trust that's given you enough time to trap the spare entity in the elevator.
Lift. And smugness does not become you, Knox, especially in death.
Good old Doctor. I knew I could rely on you to sort it all out. Noble of you to sacrifice yourself for the greater good.
Oh, get on with it.
Yeah, well, the fact is, you're bound for that iron crater on Mercury. You, the entities, TARDIS and all. Shame about losing the TARDIS, but you can't take it with you, as they say. It only remains for me to say ta-ta. It's been fun.
Knox! Knox!
Oh, just in case the three of you get a little glum, how about a bit of cheery music to lift the spirits? TARDIS, cue the tape. And before you ask, Doctor, no, you can't switch it off. Not ever. Da 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 dum dum da 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 dum da da.
TARDIS, let me tell you something. If I ever get out of here, well, it's no more Mr. Nice Guy for me.
Tommy, please. I've got to speak to you.
Get your hands off me, woman.
Tommy, don't I mean nothing to you no more?
I've never seen you before in my life. Now leave me be before I have you arrested. Good night.
Tommy? Tommy? I'll scream if you don't turn around. I will.
Oh, no, you won't, Miss Williams.
Hey, you can't do this to me.
Now, calm down. If I let go of your mouth, will you tell me the trouble? Nicely?
I promise.
Good. Well?
It's Tommy. Major Eckert. I gave him his letters back. I figured if I did that, maybe he'd like me again.
But?
He tore him up into a million little pieces. Then he said to leave him alone, seeing as I was nothing but a worthless jade.
Men. A delightful species.
Oh, what am I going to do? Tommy, he don't want anything to do with me. And John Parker, I dread to think what he'll do when he finds me.
Lizzie, listen to me. You have to get out.
Out?
Of Washington. You can start again. Somewhere new. Somewhere nobody knows you.
I never dreamed of no plantation, like John. It's just a small plot of land. That'd be plenty.
I hear California's nice.
Oh, easy enough for you, miss. You got money, ain't you?
If only I did. The doctor vamoosed without leaving behind so much as a brass farthing. If he doesn't come back, I'll be busking on street corners collecting coins in a tin.
A tin? Oh, I just remembered. I gotta go. Thank you, miss. I'm gonna do just like you said.
You are? How?
John Parker. He left a money box in my room. I reckon he owes me. Don't you?
Lizzie, I didn't mean theft. I meant... Lizzie! Oh, what's the use?
Changing history, are we, Dr. Smythe?
Doctor! It's you! You made it!
Evidently.
Oh, I could kiss you. In fact, I will.
Now, it's 1865, remember? They're not used to public displays of affection.
Oh, come on, then. How'd you do it, clever clogs? How'd you escape?
Oh, the cleverness of me.
Oh, careful, Peter Pan. Pride comes before a fall.
Actually, it was rather brilliant. having trapped the entity in the lift...
Oh, metal box, power drained, entity weakened. Go on.
Yeah, well, having done that, I had to contend with Knox's little gift from beyond the grave.
Is what?
As I suspected, Knox was planning a typically baroque surprise for me. Eternity in an iron crater on Mercury. But he didn't count on my resetting his TARDIS's galactic positioning system to read Mercury's old southern lava field as the corner of 8th Street, Washington, Earth, which is where it promptly defaulted to, 2 blocks from here.
That's quite clever, I suppose. Did it take you long?
The blink of an eye, to a Time Lord.
I only ask because there seems to be a touch of grey in your hair.
Huh? Oh, a side effect of the entity possessing me, I dare say. Anyway, from there it was a simple matter of setting his TARDIS off into the vortex, entities and all.
Was that wise?
Well, I removed the temporal shields and left the journey's end unspecified. We'll see how ageless and deathless the Indo really are.
Good. I hope Parker doesn't catch up with her.
Sorry?
Lizzie Williams, I mean.
Oh, like Booth and Ford and Clara Harris and Lincoln, she's history. Alas. Come on, you. The seats are beginning to fill and we should be elsewhere.
Doctor, as an historian, I can't help feeling I ought to witness the event at first hand. Primary sources and all that.
Knox is in the audience, remember? If he sees us here, this whole business might start over again, only twice as complicated.
Well, that's me convinced. About turn, then.
Doctor, Miss Evelyn.
Oh, no. Mr. Ford, how nice to see you again.
Oh, ain't it fantastic? I gotta tell you, a theater this packed gives me a nice warm feeling in my wallet. Mr. and Mrs. Lincoln will be here any minute.
With Miss Harris and Major Rathbone?
Yeah, shame about the Grants. I just wanted to check. There ain't going to be any more strange and inexplicable occurrences today, are there?
Well, Doctor?
Nothing we don't already know about.
Oh, well, that's a relief. I just worried, what with all the comings and goings, that there might be a loose end left dangling.
Not to my knowledge, Mr. Ford.
Loose end? Oh, my saints!
Ford?
I clean forgot. Pops!
Your stagehand? The one who was missing?
Oh, how could I forget? Poor dead Pops.
Dead?
He in the props trunk.
Show me.
I was tidying up this afternoon. That's why I went to the props trunk, and don't I wish I hadn't.
And this Pops was inside?
All boggled-eyed and stiff. A silk cravat around his throat.
What, like one of Wilde's?
Lord, now that you say it.
Poor Pops must have seen more than Knox wanted him to. Now, is this the one?
That's it. You'll need the key.
No need, it's not locked.
Well, Doctor, is he?
Well, if he was here earlier, he's not here now.
What?
See for yourself.
Now, this I don't understand. I locked it tight, I swear.
I don't doubt it, but the interesting thing is the lock's been broken from the inside.
Doctor, the entity. Oh, don't tell me it's escaped and is using this Pops's body.
No, I assure you the entity has been comprehensively defeated.
Oh, what's it mean, then?
Oh, every star turn needs an understudy.
Knox? But he's dust. Ashes and dust.
Maybe. But in all that time Knox was connected to the Indo. Who's to say he didn't absorb some of their powers?
You mean he put himself inside the body of Pops?
The suggestion doesn't seem too fanciful.
You mean Pops is walking about, dead but not dead?
Doctor, we have to tell Major Eckert. We have to stop him.
There's no point, Evelyn. No, I fear Knox will be long gone by now. As must we be.
Huh? Off time travelling, are we?
Time travelling? Whatever gave you the idea that we were time travellers?
Lizzie did, when that thing got into her head. Tell me the truth, pure and simple. I can take it.
The truth, as Oscar himself will say 30 years from now, is rarely pure and never simple. Goodbye, Mr. Ford. I hope the evening goes with a bang.